This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
This is Frank Skinner. I'm with Emily Dean and Alan Cockerel. You can text the show on 81215, or you can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio. Email the show is another alternative. You can do that via the Absolute Radio website. Guess what? I had a strange journey in this morning.
Oh yeah, what happened?
Well, I got in and I said to the driver, morning, and he said, Mahal. And I thought, now, is that like a very poor attempt at morning? He got to the and thought, oh, forget it. Or is it, does he not speak English, or, you know, I was confused.
Yeah.
And I said, we're going to Golden Square. And he said, bears. And now I thought, now this is... does he just think... You know, like with dogs. You know, if you got a dog called Anthony, and people go, Anthony, if you went, it'd still come. It just... The tune
right.
would follow
essentially, he's communicating with you in a tonal language.
It's really... So I didn't...
As I believe is done in Thailand.
So I sort of gave up. I didn't bother speaking on the way in. And then when we got here... And I swear to you, I swear, I'm not making this up. I said, OK, I'll have a good day. And he went, steel pulse. I'm sure he said... Well, I'm not sure. But it sounded like Steel Pulse, the American... the Birmingham reggae band from the 70s.
Steel Pulse.
You remember? It really sounded like he said Steel Pulse.
No, it would have been something like Stay Something. Don't you think?
He didn't like
Stay Pause.
He didn't like...
Stay Pause.
Stay Pause.
Stay Pause.
He didn't like a man who did some jive talk.
Like a...
You suggested he was jive talking.
I think he was life coaching. Stay Pause.
It's not a hoggy bear. Oh, he did say bears.
He said bears.
I see.
And then he said bears, woods. You know what I mean?
Golden ski, exactly.
So the three things he said to you were slightly...
Well, Mahan. The first one was Mahan, which I don't know what that means.
Mahan.
Unless he's got his own German soldier at home. And then he said bears for are we going to
Frank,
Golden Square?
I'd be willing to bet $1,000 he didn't say bears.
Well, I really wish someone else had been... Because it's one of these things, and I thought, you know, the trouble is with this, people who think, oh, maybe he just made this up for comic effect. I swear to you. Have a good day. Steel pulse.
Stay Pause.
Stay pause, maybe.
He said stay pause.
He didn't look like... But stay pause is a bit jive talking, isn't it?
Maybe.
He didn't do one of those handshakes that takes like 5 minutes when he's touching my knuckles.
You know, when you're in any sort of cab, we celebrate all cabs here, because I know we get in trouble if we mention a specific one, but when you get in a cab and you make conversation and there's utter silence, I don't know what to do with silence.
Well, I
said this morning, it wasn't my usual driver, I said, it's freezing, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was the conversation.
I think they've told me...
Why didn't he talk back? Why didn't he reply to me, Frank?
I think they'd probably reciprocate. What they've always said to me that drivers do is they'll say something early on, and if you don't respond much, they'll think, oh, this is a passenger who doesn't want conversation, so they leave it.
Right.
And maybe they think that we operate the same way. So you say, it's cold today, and he thinks, well, I'll send out the message. This is not a conversation I want to have.
I'm not a chatty driver.
Yeah.
Oh, well, next time I'll say bears.
Yeah, try that. It'd be great if you got the same bloke as me. Bears, and he went,
Stay pause.
Yeah, exactly. Steel pulse. And then you could say, it was another 1970s reggae band. Ooh.
I'm going to go 80s Aswad.
Yes, we'll have Aswad, that'll do.
Thank you.
Well, I think they might have been around. Oh, no, let's not get into a big Aswad phoning. Start with that.
There's more.
12:15. What circa were Aswad? Absolute Radio, where real music matters.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, we've had some theories about what the driver was saying, but they're all rude. So we won't be going there.
Oh, hang on, Frank. A wild horse.
Don't go there.
I'm just catching a Pokemon, because I know that's really unprofessional during the show, but you just suggested that the driver might be playing Pokemon Go.
Well, when he said Mahon, he could have said, I'm playing Pokemon. That just didn't. He could have said that. Don't bother
Doing a
me.
weird Elvis
And I said,
impression.
what, if you had to...
Did he then say thank you very much?
And if I then said to him, I'm trying to remember if I said, oh, really? And the creatures, are there any sort of actual animals that they resemble in any way? Bears. Now it's starting to make sense.
Well, the bears bit was at the start, wasn't it? Was that just after
No,
you
bears
said...
was after Mahon.
Oh, was it?
What
Yeah,
did the
otherwise
end
it
bit
wouldn't have
though?
made any
How
sense.
foolish of me.
What did the end mean?
Oh.
What, steel poles? I don't
I know what he was saying. What is there anything I can use to attach these two pieces of paper together in an office environment? Staples.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I don't remember asking that, but I might have. It was early.
Yeah.
So I went... we're live, by the way, this week, so you can text us on 81215. Last week we pre-recorded. It's not a thing I like to do, but, you know, sometimes you have to. You know, you have to.
Adam from Chingford, did you read that out?
Adam from Chingford, living on love.
Oh, casting aspersions on his life there.
Maybe he'll take you apart. Come on.
I haven't read anything.
Okay, Adam from
yet so
Chingford.
far.
I was playing Pokemon Go briefly, and I thought
Oh,
you might have been doing it. Morning team, do you think the driver was putting things in room 101? Bears, steel pans?
Maybe put steel pulse in room 101. That would be a great, incredible left field choice.
And Ma Young. Is it Ma Jong?
Oh, Ma Young.
Yeah.
What is she, has she actually texted in? Oh, Ma Young, I heard. She sits behind the beaded
confusing.
curtain at the back in the living... You know when you get to
Yeah.
the living quarters?
Yeah.
Oh, I love the
What's
living
she got to
quarters.
say?
They also have that in a dressmaker's, I find.
What's up?
Oh, so Ma Young was the other thing you wanted to put in?
Yeah. Ma Young.
Ma Young.
I
I
wish
thought
he
it was
was
an
on
email.
Room 101, because
I wish he was on this show.
Ma Young, Bears and Steel Pulse would be three brilliant choices. I'd be happy
Can I
with
ask
that.
you a question about Room 101?
You can.
Do you sometimes, when you get the choices through, and do you sometimes think, oh, I wish I hadn't gone for that?
Well, you have to... I think it's important that they are talking about things that genuinely wind them up, so
Okay.
sometimes you just have to...
But there must be sometimes you think, well, they're more obscure. That's great when they do that.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that Sarah Millican had chicken Kievs with not enough Kiev. I never even thought of that middle bit as being called Kiev.
Oh, that's good work.
But yeah, but you know, they're all God's children. So I love them all.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
Working in Frank's old school today, St Hubert's.
Really?
From Barry the caretaker and his dog.
Wow, that's that was my very big cross. There's a church. It's a church adjoined. The church, actually, the church that I was
Nice school, was it?
baptised, first confession, first communion. It was a nice school, yeah. 42 in the class. No, there's no teaching assistants in them days.
No.
Yeah. Wonder if nuns still work there. We had a couple of non-teachers, non-headmistress.
Yeah.
They were
I
strict.
think you're going to have to be a bit more specific.
Well, we had Mother Mary Adrian.
Okay.
Was the if Mother Mary Adrian was working there now, I'd assume it was Adrian Charles hiding out. Like, do you know Sister Josephine, that Jake Thackeray song about a criminal hiding in a convent?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, Sister Josephine.
No, I didn't know that.
Founder of the convent pontoon team. It's very fine.
So go on, what else?
What else? I went to Brighton last week for the last phase. I know you're all sick of hearing about my birthday, but the last phase was me and my partner Kath went for a couples weekend.
Lovely.
When I say couples, it was just us.
Last weekend?
Yeah, because we hadn't been away without our child before.
I was texting for updates.
It's quite a thing. Yeah, it's a bit... I'll tell you what it's like. If you've got a child and then you go away without the child... do you remember at the end of Bullseye when
Yes.
Jim Bowen used to say, let's see what you would have won?
Yes.
It's a bit like that. Let's see how easy
And then the
life would have been.
Bullies music came on in a minor key, slightly amended, I seem to remember.
Oh, did
It went
it?
du-du-du-du-du-du-du.
nice.
It's terribly sad. Anyway, this weekend wasn't sad. It was lovely, I would
It was.
imagine.
I mean, it was very strange not having a child. I mean, I read a newspaper.
Really? Old school.
That was a walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
Actually sat and casually read the newspaper. Absolutely brilliant.
What did you do? Oh,
That's it.
I do apologise for
you tell
asking
me?
indelicate questions.
I tell you what, can I ask you about reading a newspaper? If there's an article, would you read an article that was like a whole page?
It'd very much depend on...
Yes, I would.
Wouldn't you? Even if it's something I am fascinated by,
Oh.
I sort of, about 2/3 of the way through, think, all right,
Yeah.
I'll
Well,
get
I've
it
got an
now.
article in the Times today, and it is more than a whole page. I won't ask you to read that.
Have you got an article in
Yes,
the
I
Times?
have.
Whoops. Of all the times to bring this up.
I thought I'd put it out there.
Well, we'll all barrel
Okay.
through half of it
Thank
and then
you.
tell you what we think, yeah?
Thanks, Frank. Thanks for your support.
Well, I'll read the first time, and then I'll think what I always do. All right, shut up now.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
So, yes, Emily Dean. Get the Times and read Emily Dean's article
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Who thought we'd be plugging journalism today?
absolutely.
Anyway, you were telling us about...
I tell you, I don't finish any
Oh,
articles.
how
in-
embarrassing. Well, no, but
I tell
Reading
you
a
what, I
whole
did
that's
though.
the thing, though, for parents, isn't it? Because I think I may have told this story before, but it won't be the first time we've repeated stories, and you're like our family now. You'll tolerate this. I was once in a hotel room, and Jonathan Ross and Jane were in the room next door with the kids, and Jonathan knocked on the door and came in, and he sort of had to leave very quickly, and later said to me, "I'm so sorry, but I was so angry when I saw you with a newspaper." He said it got me so worked up that you were sitting there with coffee on
I
the
know,
bed with a
yeah.
paper, and the kids had turned their room into a campsite, and there was just
Yeah.
rubbish strewn everywhere. So anyway, I understand.
I
that.
think there are pros and cons to parenthood. You know, there's much beauty and loveliness, but there is something brilliant about sitting, putting your feet up, leaving a hot drink on a coffee table without any fear of,
All right. On
somebody putting their face in it.
Yeah.
Well, I think on a coaster, Frank.
Obviously on a coaster. I mean, I didn't go. I didn't go completely wild.
So what did you do? Did you go for walks? And
One thing I did was listen to this show because we pre-recorded it.
Oh, did you?
I've got to tell you, I envy the listeners.
Yeah.
I thought it was so good. Really?
You know this is indiscreet. This is really... I mean, people know that you have this quality to you, and I'm going to say quality because I think it is one. I think it's a strength, your sense of self-regard.
No, every comic has got that, surely.
For sure.
I mean, I must say it was nothing's 100% in life, but I mean, but generally speaking, I was swept along in a wave of hilarity. The Guardian.
can you imagine anyone else doing that?
Not easily.
No, why? I think the truth.
I think it's absolutely fair enough.
I regard our readers as friends of ours, and let's face it, it's the only friends I've got. Beautiful. So I don't want to lie to them. I think something else that happened.
Go on.
Something I'd like to ask our readers about.
Yeah.
There was high winds in Brighton. We walked back from Moshi Moshi, which is the sushi place.
Oh.
Kath and I. It was really wind. I mean, when you can sort of slightly lie on it.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm in wind of that intensity, I cannot stop laughing. I find it the funniest thing. I look hysterical, really properly laughing. And tears, I don't know if the tears are the wind or if it's my laughter, or if it's just life. But really, it was...
It's like children's book, Windy. You know that sort of comic when you see the man's umbrella turned inside out?
exactly. Well, you wouldn't have even risked an umbrella.
It does somewhat put his praise of the show into context, though, doesn't it? 1 minute he's laughing at the show, next minute he's laughing at weather. Like,
Well, it's all about an expulsion of wind. No, but I thought about. I laugh at high winds when I'm
Yes.
in them. not when I'm watching them on the news, obviously.
No. Yes.
I laugh at fireworks.
Do you?
I crack
Do
up.
you?
I crack up at fireworks. I don't know why.
Why did they make you
Weirdo.
laugh?
I was once watching fireworks celebrating 50 years of ITV, and I was standing next to Brian Ferry, and I laughed so much. Brian Ferry said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm sorry. I always laugh at fireworks." He didn't embrace the oddness, and I find nowadays I laugh at very beautiful women.
Do you?
Yeah. I don't mean in an unkind way. There's just something so ridiculous about that level of beauty, where I just, because I'm out of it now, I can stand back as an outsider. I just find it, when you see like really, I just think it's...
You can just wander over, have a laugh, and then say, stay paused.
Well, I don't mean the back.
As you leave,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. I don't get too close, obviously. But I'd like to know, from on 8, 12, 15, what do you laugh at which isn't normally conventionally funny?
Frank Skinner on the radio.
I'm not going to lie, Frank. I thought when you said
That makes me
texting-
laugh. When people say I'm not going to lie.
I'm not going to lie. When you said texting with weird things you find funny, I thought this is a no-hoper. This is the...
Thank you for your
He's
support.
just thinking aloud. It's a desperate act. And I'll tell you what, you've lit up the switchboard. You really
There you
have.
go,
It's
yourself.
absolutely
Ow.
gone
Did
mad.
you think it was a bit like when Frank kissed Greg Davis on that comic relief show?
It wasn't that. It wasn't that level.
No,
of,
it's gone crazy. I mean, 463 has texted, I laugh whenever my partner and I make the bed and give the duvet a shake. Weird. That's an odd one.
I can see that is... No, I can't.
979. I find that I can't help laughing at caravans, particularly if they're being pulled really slowly on a motorway.
Which is when one normally sees them, I suppose, unless one goes caravanning.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is something comical about there's something, I'll tell you what, there's something poignant about them, if you know what I mean. It's a bittersweet laughter with a caravan.
Yes.
There's an air of terrible loss about a caravan. I don't know what it is.
I
get in
tend to
trouble.
laugh at any man in a fashion hat,
Oh, yeah.
like a fedora or...
You know what? That's bad, but I laugh at that.
A man cut me
Yeah.
up in traffic recently, or felt I didn't let him in, and he slowed down to give me what he felt was a sinister look.
Yeah.
And he had a hat on, and I burst out laughing. It was a black fedora, and he looked ridiculous.
Well, John Wayne. John Wayne had a special station wagon built with a raised section over the driving seat so he could wear his Stetson while he was driving. I love that. Like a sort of Luton van element to it.
Excellent.
What about 848? What I laugh at that no one else seems to laugh at is whenever a card payment declines at a till point, and after another attempt still declines, the customer's face goes redder and redder, they get flustered, and the face of the person behind them gets frustrated, and tutting begins. I laugh silently as I'm the cashier, and I just love it when that happens. That's Anon from John Lewis.
Oh,
Excellent.
cruel.
Yeah.
I can see. I actually forgot my PIN number.
Oh, yeah.
Do young people do that as well?
Am I counted in the young people
You are from where
demographic?
I'm standing. I really thought this
I've
is
had
it
that
now. If you
happen a few
forget your
times.
PIN number, you could be lost, couldn't you? That you
Yeah.
could never.
Well, you must have a few with your fortune.
No, it's all
It's the same
incredibly. It all goes through the one PIN number.
Yeah.
Just like when they used to put a grand
Thanks for
piano
that
through a
info.
letterbox
What was it?
on
1, 2, 3,
Juice on
4?
Frontier.
Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? You said it was.
Password 123.
Password 1. No, Password 1 was a development. It was Password for years. And then I thought, here's a thought. Here's an idea to
Mix it up a bit.
To fox the hackers.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Monkey Jim has texted.
Oh, how is Monkey Jim?
He says cheese makes people laugh, as does fish. Meat isn't funny, neither are vegetables, unless they're shaped like... Well, I won't read that. I won't read what he continues to say. But
No.
many vegetables are
I don't
shaped
agree
like
that meat isn't funny.
I don't either.
I'm
I
made of
think
meat.
And you're funny, we know that.
Yeah.
You
I think
enjoy
we've
listening to your own
I think we've
radio show.
established. I had to go out and have a listen to make sure, but everything's fine. I can come back in again. Oh my God! Well, this is
Anyway,
good.
we'll continue to update you as they come in.
Yes, it's good though, isn't it? You can spend your whole life sweating and crafting jokes, and then what people are laughing at is duvets.
Yes.
Samantha Banks, when I go to school plays and a kid has their pumps on the wrong feet.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, I love that.
You know, I was just thinking about this the other day. I put my shoes on the wrong feet, and Kath said, "Get those shoes off my feet." No, that was a joke. And I thought, why do we even bother with making shoes that are right and left shoes? Can't we sort that out?
What do you mean? What
It
were you
seems to me that
proposing?
just straight shoes that go straight would cover everything.
It's sort of an espadrille type thing.
It
Yeah,
looked
why do we
horrible.
have to commit?
It would look
They would
horrible.
look absolutely horrible. Can you imagine, Frank? What are you, Northampton clown?
Well, I find the whole thing now it's just a bit old-fashioned. The idea of having left foot and right foot.
Oh, unlike you and your trendy hipster rectangular shoes.
And on the wrong feet. I mean, what are you talking about? If you put them on the wrong feet, they've made them. They've made them too. My feet don't really flare out at the end the way shoes do.
They don't.
No, do yours?
Your feet don't flare out.
No, they don't. They don't go around the corner slightly the way the shoes look.
I think
It looks
mine
like
do.
somebody stopped the shoe as one was going to veer to the left and one. If they kept going, your shoes would cross at the front. I think that doesn't make any sense to me.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
You're listening to Absolute Radio.
What are you eating?
Okay.
This is the Frank Skinner Show.
You can text the show on 81215,
You can follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio.
or you can email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
With
Thank you
your
very much.
complaints about Frank eating apple on air.
Well, Frank was saying in the...
Look, if there's any children listening, apple's very good
Carry
for
on
you.
eating the apple while we do the thing. Someone has texted in now
Oh, yeah.
because Frank was saying this is like the bit in Nat's Life when they used to go over to the panel.
Cyril.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not Cyril, it's the other boys. There were some other characters. Esther would just hand over to them.
This is the tale of Billy Bull who went around neglecting tools. It's the sort of thing Cyril used to do.
Frank was, in rather a late review, Frank was talking about shoes and how poorly designed they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say Cyril Fletcher's a fairly late review.
Okay, fair enough.
But yes, I don't get the left and right thing.
He
at all.
just says,
unnecessary.
wither the shoe. Chris Davis has responded, next time we see Frank, will he be wearing tissue boxes on his feet? Straight shoes, silly comment, Frank. I mean,
Well,
he's
no,
really
but
taken
it's-
again you.
Yeah, but, they all laughed at Christopher Columbus when he said the world was round.
Yeah.
They all laughed when Edison recorded sound.
Oh, they all laughed
this
when the
another poem?
caravan was going up the motorway being
Yeah.
pulled very slowly.
They did. I'll tell you when they didn't laugh.
When?
The Brits. Anyway, I think often when things that are very accepted are challenged, at first you think, well, that's ridiculous, and then just if you think about shoes a bit more, you think,
Yeah.
actually, do we need them to be a different shape? I mean, when I put my trousers on, do I think, oh, I've got my right leg and my left leg? It looks completely strange. No, it fits fine.
Love song of Alfred Prufrock 2.0. Google it.
Yeah.
Frank, what shape would you like the shoe to be then? You're saying it's too rounded and it should be...
They don't need to commit either way, so I say. Just leave space for either foot, and then just get them like that.
Okay.
So when he says tissue boxes,
That's sort of what you mean.
A model
Well,
that
no,
you-
they don't need to have corners. I mean, he's being facetious, is my guess.
Although I think they would probably assist the balance if they were kind of
The
quite
trouble is
blocky.
with tissue boxes as well, I think you still want the whole moved towards one end. You don't want it central. Yeah, unless you're going to put both feet in one. Well, now it's getting ludicrous.
I might get some quite heavy tissue box shoes.
This is not some sort of, flight of fancy. I honestly think that it's an outdated concept, the left and right shoe.
If you got heavy enough tissue box shoes, like maybe made of wood, not a clog, but like a tissue box with quite a wide base, you could ride on the tube and not even bother with a handrail. You could just,
Yeah.
and then when it wobbles, you're totally fine.
Well, that's something. That they see already the possibilities. What started as, what a ridiculous suddenly. But hold on a minute.
So many business ideas come up on this show.
It
Like
feels
Dragon's
like a
Den,
go.
innit?
Yeah.
Again,
It's
and
like
again.
Dragon's Den, but without the big ventilator fans.
Christine has texted something that makes her laugh.
Okay.
Inexplicable things that make you laugh, or is it inexplicable? It's more strange things, isn't
Well,
it?
I'd say things that aren't viewed as
Unlikely,
conventionally
yeah.
comic.
Christine has showgirls in huge heels and feather headdresses walking around stages with their arms wide.
Yeah, that
I
is
understand
fun.
that.
I couldn't get that. I didn't see that at all until you said with their arms
Yeah.
wide. I also laugh at football. You know when football fans stand and look at the other supporters and hold their arms out really
Yeah.
wide. I always so find that hilarious.
Yeah.
Unless I'm cornered, obviously. Well, that's fine.
People struggling with too much luggage is a thing that I chuckle at. I know it's
Yeah.
not fair because they've got a lot on their plate already. But
Yeah.
if they've got too much luggage, it is funny. Like, it is funny seeing them trying to sort it all out.
No, it's true. I think I don't think that's too cruel. I've laughed at much crueler things. if that consoles you in any way.
a bit.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
We've got one more email that I would like to bring to your attention about laughing uncontrollably at just life, strange things in life.
Life.
I laugh uncontrollably at oven chips. I've googled it and it is not a common phenomenon.
I'll tell you what I like about that. I like the optimism of Googling it, thinking I bet there'll be loads
Yeah.
of stuff about how funny oven chips are.
I love the thoroughness, though.
Yeah.
I Google so many odd things that I'm really glad that other people do that. Good. That's a thing, is it?
But oven chips, I wonder if it's when they're cooked or when
Through the window.
you're watching them through the oven window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had a
that can be
complaint
funny.
as well from 925.
What?
You mentioned mummies last week.
Mummies as in...
Not as in the
Egyptian,
yummies, as in the Egyptian. You mentioned mummies last week in what I thought was quite a derogatory fashion. Leave them alone. They're my favourite monster. They already get a bad rap.
Oh,
That's from Johnny in
is
Walsall.
that a joke? A bad rap?
No, well, he spelled it
Oh,
R-A-P, but perhaps it was, you know.
Well, I bet it is now.
It is now.
Yeah.
I don't remember mentioning mummies. How did that crop up?
Me neither. And you've heard it again since.
I do,
Yeah,
I
listen
do,
to
I
the
do.
show.
I meant,
To be
I
honest-
think I referred to, because I was talking about Doctor Who, and I said, why can't they just leave it all nice, like your episode, where there's a dinner
Oh,
party on the
yes.
train, and then a
You're quite right.
Yes.
sonic
Quite right.
warlock comes in, and you said it was a mummy.
You have to. I mean, the sound of my own laughter drowned out some of the show.
About 2/3 of it, yeah?
Oh no, not that much.
This
but
man has also
certainly
met you in the
40%.
bathroom, Frank,
Met me in the bathroom.
at the Hawthorns. I said hello. For some reason, you ignored me.
Yes, I'm not my most chatty at the urinal.
No.
I apologise.
What are you
I'm
going to
sure
do?
I
Offer
didn't
to shake hands? It's a nightmare waiting to
I'm
happen.
sure
You
I
can't be
didn't
doing that,
ignore
can
him,
you?
did I? That's not me at all. I'm
Very on you. You're a man of the people.
genial.
Yeah.
That's me.
Indeed.
Now,
National treasure.
we need to talk about Beckileaks,
We do.
because
Who's going to tell her? When she's been
Well, I
working
was
on the show
thinking-
a while, she's ruining the
Oh.
upholstery.
Absolutely.
what about if that was Cockerel? Cockerleaks.
Oh yeah.
Cockerleaks. Wouldn't work with you,
Can you
Frank.
still get cockaleaky?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't seen a tin. I peruse the shelves. I haven't seen a tin for a while.
It happens. It definitely happens.
Is it always in that that tin? There's a weird soup, a sort of
Vichyssoise.
underground soup that's got like a tartan label on it and a stag.
Mulligatawny.
No, it's got a. I think it's a company. I think they have several brands. But it has a
Oh, I was saying
stag.
hello.
Oh, sorry.
There is a stag. Hang on. What is it?
It's a stag.
Text in 81215. What's the stag soup?
It's obviously. I think they specialise in Scottish soups like cockaleaky.
You're sure it's not mulligatawny? Vichyssoise.
I think it's a company with several types
Campbell's.
of soup. No.
Okay.
Did you remember any stags?
I don't need to
and
be so
tartan?
aggressive. I said Campbell's.
I don't think Andy Warhol would have thought I can paint loads of these. I like
They're
the
a Scottish
stag.
company, Campbell's.
They should
Anyway.
be.
You two are aware we're on the radio, aren't you?
Sorry,
Oh, yeah,
okay,
sorry, we're
yeah.
on the radio. I forgot that.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about David Beckham, because I always want to talk about David Beckham, because I love that man, but he's had a mare of a week.
He's had a bit of trouble, hasn't he?
He I have to say, it's one of the funniest news stories I can remember. I love in case you don't know, there was emails. Now, let me start by saying that the Beckhams claim, first of all, they claim that they were hacked. Well, obviously they were hacked. But also they said they might have been doctored.
Hacked, doctored, and selected to misrepresent them, I think, is their, like...
Isn't that a Stevie Wonder? Hacked, doctored, selected, and yours.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been such a hit.
That's how Donald Trump chooses a mate, maybe.
So, he says that, so he's claiming that they've been, but anyway, the content is, whoever put it in, that seems to suggest that David Beckham is gagging for a knighthood.
I mean,
he's absolutely furious.
Oh, he's gagging he wants a knighthood.
He really wants one.
And I love that, because people are so, oh, it's lovely, I'm very proud and all, but I like the idea that because he's raised like 3.5 million, 4 million quid, for UNICEF, and the idea that that was all about getting a knighthood.
What about...
The kids still get the money.
What about when he says...
We all got paid!
Frank, what about when he says, unless it's a knighthood, expletive there?
Yeah, there was a lot of expletive.
A lot.
He loves an expletive.
Particularly, there's a Class A swear word. And it follows the word... unappreciative.
I think
And unappreciative is
it
such
precedes the word. Oh no, it follows it.
No, it follows it.
Yes.
So he calls them unappreciative and then a Class A swear word.
Yeah.
And unappreciative is such a lovely what is it? 5-6 syllables. It's
a big
say it properly.
He's done lovely work there.
It's like having a beautiful ornate staircase leading to a latrine. So he it's class swearing, really good swearing by him, because it sounds like it's going to be more, and then you hit the brick wall of the big swear word. So he's shot up in my estimation with his feverish.
Well, I know why as well.
His feverish hunger for a knighthood.
He's thrown a bit of shade at KJ, Catherine Jenkins.
I think we'll have to come back to this.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
We were talking about, speaking of panic, that was the moment when David Beckham got the phone call saying, those emails.
The fury.
Well, you say those, 18 million of the things.
What?
That's a lot.
That is a lot. They're not all from him. I think they're from...
To do with him, yeah.
No, I think they're a football sort of based company, so I think there's probably other...
So it's like the WikiLeaks of... football.
It is. I think they're actually calling it something like Footy Leaks.
Like a cache of emails. But
I love the word cache.
Thank you. Like throwing a bit of
cache. But best of all, beef bourguignon.
You like that?
Yes.
Do you think David Beckham... I was worried, because you've mentioned his little, his sort of downturned mouth in the flesh,
that worried me.
His collapsed mouth. Isn't it a lovely thing that collapsed mouth is such a potty mouth? I love the fact that...
Yeah. Well, he's a footballer. We shouldn't be surprised that he swears.
But he's kind of got a squeaky clean... I am actually surprised.
A squeaky clean voice.
I'm actually surprised that he's got... I wonder if he only swears in the written form. I wonder if it's only in email.
But bear in mind, they've been doctored.
Apparently,
that's what Simon Olivieri. Yes, I know all the names of the people involved. Yeah. That's what he says.
Well, I believe they've been doctored. They've certainly cleared up the spelling and the grammar.
Oh,
yeah. So he throws shade at Catherine Jenkins.
Yes, I'm not familiar with the
can't
phrase.
say what he called her.
Well, he called her a swear word joke.
Yes.
That's what he called. And a something joke.
But he's upset that...
Well, actually, he didn't say that he said it was a joke that she'd got an OBE for singing at the rugby, visiting the troops, and
we can't say the other thing.
And taking a Class A drug.
But you can. It's in the public domain. She's said it.
Yes,
She's talked about it, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
He said it's a joke.
Yeah. I think the idea of somebody getting in the honours thing and when you say of a celebrity, for what? Like, that's such...
I like that the Queen was given a list of qualities for Catherine Jenkins and got bored after visiting the troops, that'll do me, and never got down to the Class A drug, and it was a clerical error.
It's a funny thing to want so desperately now.
Isn't it?
Robert Mugabe was knighted.
Was he?
Was he?
I think he was stripped of it when they realised maybe things were a bit funny.
Harsh.
There are a few of them.
I think he took his bat when the Beatles got their MBEs. He's one of those people. Still one of my great fame. I'm sure I've said this before, but one of the great, when people gave back their honours as a protest at the Beatles that got MBEs. This was in the days when pop stars and that didn't get MBEs. A man defending them in a letter to the Times said that they had made millions for the British corduroy industry. One of the best defences of the Beatles I think I've ever heard. Yes, poor old Catherine Jenkins. I mean, how did she, of all the people to... I do believe that she's Lucifer's representative on Earth. I've often thought that she is diabolic in that way. And this is not a metaphor. I think she is actually the agent of Satan. But she still does a lot of good work.
Yeah.
Because, it's a mysterious... regime.
What's it?
Yeah. He also
describing it.
He also moves in mysterious ways, I believe. But of all the people to pick out, I wonder why he went for Catherine Jenkins.
He's really not happy about that. He says if he was American, he would have definitely had a knighthood by now, which seems to me to show a fundamental misunderstanding, perhaps, of the British honours system. No.
Yeah.
You have to be British, I believe. Except an honorary knighthood, as in the case of Robert Mugabe or Mussolini, who got one.
Mussolini got a knighthood?
No.
Yes.
Well, it's not sounding like a great gang, is it now?
Ceausescu, knighthood?
You're kidding me.
No!
Am I just going to say horrible world leaders' voice is very high? Mussolini! You notice I didn't say it for Bob Mugabe.
I like...
Bob got one. It's all right. I'm all right, we know. But they don't have to be absolutely on the nail. They can be a bit approximate in their qualities. Yeah. I mean, if the Queen said to me, sorry to call you. Sorry to call you at work. I got a phone call from the Queen.
Yeah.
She says,
you're not going to get a phone call from the Queen.
What if I do? She says, sorry to bother you, but we've only got one honour left. I can't decide. Catherine Jenkins, Bob Mugabe. I know where my advice would fall.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
We've had a correctione.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Andy and Cheadle. He says, was it Cheadle Hulme?
Cheadle Hume. It's
Oh.
it's an area of Stockport, Greater Manchester.
Oh, lovely. Come on, Cockerel.
I used to stay in Hume quite regularly.
Hume is a different part
Cardinal.
of Manchester.
Yeah, I got to know the people at Autoglass by their first names.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Say no more.
Come on, Cockerel. It's pronounced cash, not cachet. I know it's spelt cash with an E on the end, but this is simplified for you. You're welcome. I believe Andy's correct.
But
Well, there's cachet, which means sort of kudos, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And then there's cash.
As in, like a group of things.
Yeah.
Okay. But cash.
And then there's cash, as
Cash
in
on
money,
the
folding.
yes. Well, don't you know it?
Yeah.
And then there's cash, as in, my daddy left home when I was
right,
3 and it didn't leave a lot for my ma or me.
Right.
Yeah.
So, also, we've had a shout out from Tony. Well, I say a shout out. He's got in touch.
Not the tiger.
No.
Oh.
Hi,
I went to a football match with him once. Yeah.
You've worked with them all, haven't you?
What about when you and Adrian Charles went in the mascots and you went on the pitch and when you inside the?
He was Baggy Bird and I was Baggy Junior. So we were dressed as giant thrushes.
Yeah.
I like the idea
the
of
bird,
Adrian's slightly misanthropic worldview and body language in the mascot.
But he's so competitive,
I say that with love,
Adrian.
obviously.
Baggy Bird's the main one. There was no question that I'd be allowed to be Baggy Bird. It's like when he said, let's go to QPR as Batman and Robin. I didn't even ask. I knew where it was going.
Anyway, Tony says, hi Frank, we're working in the building next door. We love your show and would appreciate a hello. Also, my gay electrician friend. If you don't, we could always start drilling the wall, but only after we've finished our tea. That's Love Tony. Hi, Tony.
Yes.
Waving at you, but I don't know whether that's you or waving at
I feel bad saying hello, gay electrician friend.
I feel bad for your son.
Sounds like... I'm sure he's got a name as well.
I like the mild threat to it.
Yeah, we'll start drilling the wall.
Yeah, say hello to us. Or
I'd like you to start drilling the wall. It's not my building.
yeah, exactly. Do you like?
You'd probably get through to Kiss FM. But yes, well, keep at it, Tony. And I feel your personal warmth coming through the masonry.
Yeah. Anyway.
Meanwhile, we were on the honours list, weren't we?
Oh, yeah, Ceausescu, yeah.
I've always found it a bit clunky is that they use the phrase for services to music and charity or for services to sport. And the only time that I thought it was fine was when Andy Murray got his for services to backhand returns.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean...
Oh, come on.
That's lovely.
That's got a lot of cash.
just
Got a lot of cash, that joke.
I don't... I think hacking and all that is obviously a bad thing, but... It's great when years of media training are completely overridden like that, and the beast within emerges. It's such a joy. Where's my knighthood? Why do you think I help these children? Oh, I just love that. Funny, if all public figures were just open like that, wouldn't life be more interesting?
Surely this is the point, though, is that the greater the gulf between the public and the private, the more amusing and satisfying it is when this happens. Just be honest, like Frank Skinner.
And also tantrums are very funny.
You are.
Well, when I was on tour, the gulf between the public and the private barely existed.
God.
Legend!
That was actually, I was reading one of my own emails. I thought I might as well get it out of the way.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Can I just draw a line under the soup labelling that you were trying to... Because we've had many an email and tweet and text.
It's getting on for 18 million now.
18 million?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Baxter's soup it is.
Oh, yes, it is. Baxter's,
and,
of course.
And Hazel from Stirling has said Baxter's soup make cock-a-leaky. So, full resolution.
I think that's just graffiti. She's from Stirling. I wonder if they're based there.
Maybe.
Yeah.
They've probably got knighthoods, that Baxter's lot.
Oh, I bet. I bet they've got an imprimatur. You know those things? They know those by appointment. I bet they've got a by appointment.
Oh, yeah.
Anything.
Yeah.
Oh, they love
What
it.
about when Benson Hedges used to have one of those?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's
they
right.
loved a ciggy, the Royals, back in the day.
Did the Harrods ever get theirs back?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, that all got a bit murky, didn't it?
Well, they took it because Mohammed Fayyad claimed that the Duke of Edinburgh had been involved in
various things.
A plot against the Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
And he didn't like it. He didn't take to
He
it.
didn't like that.
No.
Fair enough.
Didn't go well.
Fair play.
So,
Speaking of the royals, if he did get knighted, one of the problems is the Queen is, God bless her, is not getting any younger.
No.
She's a veteran of many, many royal engagements and royal duties. When he kneels, he's got that big cross on the back of his neck. She
Yeah.
might have a flashback and think he's been booked in for a beheading. That'd be, I mean, what a way to go. And what would be the legal implications? You couldn't jail the Queen.
no.
Very difficult.
They'd have to hush
She
it
wouldn't
up.
last 5 minutes.
They'd have to hush it up, wouldn't they? They'd say, oh, well, we sneaked him out through the kitchen because there's a crowd outside, and someone had left a scimitar on a shelf. And poor old David didn't see it, walked straight into it, head came off.
Although you have
It would be covered up. The gloves would be burnt in the grounds.
Al, I've got a suggestion. This is no joke. I think, Frank, you should possibly get a knighthood.
But what, for services to...
You pay to comedy.
Oh, well.
You pay your taxes, you're an honest man, you bring a lot of joy to the nation.
Yes. I'd have it.
I think you should have
You'd
it.
have it.
I'm not one of those people that turn them down. I think...
Well, you are national treasure now, aren't you? Borderline.
No, I'm not sure. But...
Kath would turn up at the palace with a rucksack and a plastic bag.
Kath wouldn't go. Kath would say, I don't want to go there. Oh no, I don't fancy that much.
She'd go for a run instead.
But I think people, I think, you know, it's all comedy, the honours system. I think people who turn them down are taking them more seriously than people who accept them.
Yes. This is
You know, I don't think one
he
should-
wants one now.
It's just a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
I'd like to see his private emails about this very subject, actually.
I'm just saying, Al, this character here managed to get a part in Doctor Who
Yes.
after a few mentions on the show, so
Yes.
an honours can't
Well,
be...
I certainly don't want an honour as much as I wanted a part in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
True.
No, I wouldn't swap that. What about Wayne Rooney? If he's going to be services to football, he has just broken the record for goals
has.
for England. You'd think that'd be just the sort of thing you got a knighthood for.
Got to do the charities, love.
Yeah.
No, it's services to football. And he definitely wouldn't turn it down. He never says no to an old lady.
Late review.
Hold on, here it comes. Oh, I enjoyed it. I like the way I framed
You weren't the only
it.
one.
I felt it was framed. It wasn't just dropped in. It was in a gold frame, it
You
felt
framed
like.
it, yeah.
You had that little look in your eye like, I'm going to get there.
Oh, yes, it's fabulous.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
Anyway, Sharon Osbourne,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
she is not impressed.
She zinged him, didn't she?
She did.
She called him shallow.
She said he's embarrassed himself.
Yeah, to want a knighthood is shallow, she said. Now, I don't really know Sharon Osbourne's work. I only know her from the reality show The Osbournes, and she's a judge on The X Factor. So, for her to be calling other people shallow feels a bit glass houses, but maybe she has a depth that I'm unaware of, does she?
I think she's paid to have opinions, isn't she?
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Well, what she said, and you're like this, Frank, because
Yeah.
I believe this, she used a phrase that you once said to a man on the beach who irritated you. She said, "Get a life."
Oh, yeah. I'm not it's not one of my best zingers, that.
Why did you say it to the man?
And also, can
Is this the
anyone...
man that was slowing you down?
did the
in
man
front?
slow him down?
I
Is
thought
it
you were
definitely a
wrong.
racing issue?
If David Beckham's done anything, he has got a life.
Yeah.
Ah.
Wow, what a life he's got.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got drawbacks. But a lot of it is fun, I should think.
Loads.
Yeah,
I mean, it looks fun, his life, doesn't it?
yeah. I mean, I can imagine him sitting at home thinking, oh. But I bet he has a lot of nice times going on.
Nice dinners and things.
Yeah, and he's very well groomed and all that.
Lovely
Definitely.
clothes. I bet he gets sent free sunglasses.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Frank
bet
got
he does.
7. Frank went to buy some once with got freebies with Jeff Brazier.
Yes.
7 pairs.
14 I got. Brazier got 9, and I thought, if Jeff Brazier's going to leave here with more sunglasses than me...
Is Brazier surname status then, is he? Brazier. Like McGarvey, Brazier.
Yes, I was at public school with him. I think public charity work, I think a lot of people do it for, because they care about, people. A lot of people do it a bit like getting your card stamped at Costa.
Right.
You get enough stamps, you get your honour. But the people
The
being
public
helped...
auctions I'm a bit suspicious of.
But
Yeah,
the
I'll
people
get
being
this.
helped, they still help the same. So, who cares what the
Yes.
motive... Unless one takes the line of T.S. Eliot in Murder in the Cathedral, to do the right deed for the wrong reason is the greater treason.
Oh,
But, I mean, the kids don't care as long as they get their shoes.
yeah.
That's my view of charity in the 21st century. Hello, that's Dr. Bernardo waiting for me outside. Stovepipe hat, little glasses.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio with Emily Dean and Alun Cockerel. You can text the show on 8 12 15. Many have, none have regretted it. Follow the show on Twitter at Frank on the Radio, and email the show via the Absolute Radio website.
Yeah.
I went this week.
You've had another apple, we should just say.
I know, but that was better timing. There was just a
Yeah.
little bit of... I'll see if I can get catheter tongs later and get that bit of skin at the back, a bit of peel.
Your tongues.
Oh, Frank.
No, we've been together too long.
I mean, that knighthood is floating away now.
It
Yeah.
is.
I could grasp it.
I I don't need it. Kath went out this week. I stayed in and looked after our child, and her and her sister went to see Goodfellas.
Oh,
Is it late review?
It's a bit of a...
Is it on at the cinema?
It's on at the British Film Institute.
Has she never seen it?
No, she'd never seen it before.
Oh.
It's quite a male film, if you know what I mean. I think it's all right to say that.
It's one of my faves, I would say. Then I am quite male.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I went to see Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Did you?
It's a funny old world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I went... Altera was at the Carole King musical. Absolute Radio's Jason Manford was there.
All right.
Was he?
He was. Because he loves a musical.
He does,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's in them, of course.
But he wasn't in that
Is
one.
he still in
was just
Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
He's just finished Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He was telling me that.
Oh, is he? Okay. Sarah shook her head. She knows all the Manford.
Yes.
Dealt with all the Manfordian news.
So he... I was sat there. I had Jason Manford behind me, Jesse Wallace in front,
Stuck in the middle with you.
and Sunita at the side of me. I mean, it was a night of 1,000 stars.
Yeah. Or 3.
And
How was Sunita?
she was with a lady who was either an older sister or maybe a mama. It's hard to tell with...
You've just possibly really offended someone.
Yeah, that's why I'm being a bit vague about it. But she was done up to the nines. I mean, in the nice way. So it was hard to guess. I tell you who was there, David Bradley, who played William Hartnell in Adventures in Space and Time.
Oh, come on.
And I went over and told him what a great job he did. And I thought this is the closest I'll ever get to shake hands with William Hartnell.
Right.
And then I remembered, of course, The Afterlife.
The Afterlife.
Yeah, so...
Was he pleased that you liked
it's really
his
nice.
performance?
It's a very nice
Oh,
chap.
good. I wanted him to be nice.
Well, when you look at it like that, the afterlife is it's a very comforting safety net, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
For people whose hands you haven't
I'll
shook.
say, oh, yeah.
the thing is, I've spoken to people who've worked with William Hartnell, and should I be lucky enough to go upstairs, I'm not sure he'll be around.
Right.
He was a tricky character.
He was a tricky man, Billy. But I'll tell you what now, can I say first of all, and we don't do adverts on this show, but if we see something brilliant,
Yeah.
we say it's brilliant.
Well, we do adverts. I mean,
Well, we
they're in
do-
between
we don't.
our
No, but
bits.
we don't
Yes,
publicise
yes.
Well, I don't
things.
actually. I don't say, "Oh, the London car," whatever that one is. Or something. We buy any cars? We buy any? Because I don't want people thinking that we buy any
No,
cars.
No, I certainly don't.
we're all
No.
all right for cars, as far as I can make out.
Fabulous.
But Carole King,
What do you drive, Al?
Well,
Sorry, Frank.
I've recently purchased one anyway.
Oh, yeah.
We'll come back to that.
I thought Carole King was that woman who did Tapestry, that one album that sold a lot in the 70s.
Right.
I had Carole King. Who knew? Who knew how many songs she'd written? I'll come back to this. You'll be absolutely... I mean, classics that I knew had nothing to do with her. Shall I give you a quick example before we go
Yeah.
on?
Yeah.
Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow?
No.
Yeah?
Well, he's just turned you down there.
Just answering you.
Yeah. On Broadway, do you know that one?
Of course I do.
Up on the roof. On the roof. One fine day. Hey.
This isn't
You loving
Family
this at home?
Fortunes, name a Carole
Aye.
King song.
Oh, it's like being Jive Bonnie. Google it.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
Yeah.
Just had a very exciting moment when Sarah, the assistant producer, showed us a drawing that had been done for her by Tommy Steele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he a knight?
Oh,
Well,
yes, he should be. Come
You
on.
can't have David Beckham get a night bud, a night hod, and he did get a night bud once, I think.
Yeah.
But
And
she
not
went to the papers.
Not proven.
No,
Sir Tommy Steele, it's got to be Sir Tommy Steele.
surely he,
I believe not. Sarah seems to think, and she does know all things Steele.
and he was like rock and roll, British rock and roll. He was in the musical.
Multi-talented man.
Sculptor of the Eleanor Rigby statue in Liverpool.
So when people at home are thinking, I wonder what they talk about during the songs, here you are.
It's Tommy Steele.
That's
There's
He's done by
a
Tommy Steele.
Frank, was he a sculptor?
Well, then again now.
Yeah. Any other job opportunities he considered?
I think he was offered a job selling potions in a travelling show, and he said, "I'm sorry, I think that's an outdated profession." And now you can't just roll into a town like some sort of troubadour. You have to have licence and that to sell. And I think quite a lot of testing of the potions.
Oh,
yeah, there's a lot.
I don't approve of that.
A lot of paperwork.
Forget about it.
Clive Silas, who's one of my regulars, he's been in touch. Well, you were talking about Carole King, the musical.
Yeah.
He says, Monkeys songs too. I'm a believer. No, get out.
That's wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer was written by Neil Diamond.
Okay.
What she did write, when I say she,
all the religious-based songs.
to be fair, I don't want to be sexist about it, Jerry Goffin wrote the lyrics to these songs. They wrote Pleasant Valley Sunday for the Monkeys. You know that one?
No.
Another Pleasant Valley Sunday. Anyway, so I was astonished. It was as if, imagine if I'd gone to the Jason Manford musical with Carole King, and we discovered that Jason Manford had written, My Dog's Got No Nose. Why did the chicken cross the road? And many of the early pioneering
It's quite complicated, this. I don't understand. But okay,
No, it's like that though.
Yeah.
She'd written all these classics. I had no idea. So it was.
Well, I'd like to extend a formal offer to your mother-in-law, who you said you thought might enjoy this. Would she like to join us on a girls' outing for the show?
Yes, I think Sandy Mason would love Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
It's a hot date.
So the girls from the show are going to take my mother-in-law.
Yeah. Take my wife, please.
Obviously, I'll be paying for the old lady. That's my Wayne Rooney impression.
And never mind me. What about your mother-in-law? Oh my God, Frank! I can't believe you said that.
Anyway, look,
the horror.
It's the horror. The horror.
You're all right.
That's my Marlon Brando.
He's doing his apocalypse now.
Oh, I see.
So anyway, one thing that we need to mention, I hate shows where they go on about their birthdays, but
Don't listen to last week.
no, all the week before.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was someone's birthday this week. We're going to go to the Fez has been placed in. I should say that when I'm talking too much, the producer Charlie puts a small Fez in front of me, and
Just like that.
It means move on, and I'm not joking. I can show you a picture.
Thank you for the love for that, Al.
Enjoyed that.
So did I miss something good?
No, I said just like that.
Oh, that was a good joke.
Thank you,
Sorry,
thank
I
you.
was doing admin.
I
was doing admin. That's like we were on a break, but you couldn't really use it for that excuse. What, you slept with Susan from work? I was doing admin! Don't try it, Jeff.
Frank Skinner on the radio.
So, it was the Cockerel's birthday this week.
It was.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Mazel tov.
Thanks very much. It was nice. I enjoyed it. I have received a gift from this show, which is a gum shield mould that when I then put my teeth in it and we send it off, I will then be... What will be returned will be a gum shield saying the Cockerel across my upper teeth, as it were.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exciting,
across
isn't
your
it?
grill.
Across my grill.
Right across the grill.
I would like to point out this was Frank's idea, personally.
I'll tell you how, I didn't know they did personalised gum shields, and then we had... oh God, I'm not going to remember her name now. The woman who got 2 consecutive gold medals.
Nicola
Adams. I'll settle for that.
Is that right?
And so we looked at some pictures of Nicola Adams, and she has things on her.
There's a message on there.
Yeah.
Right. Excellent.
If only to been her name.
I think it was you bumping your face on the microphone, was it?
Oh, it's all gone a bit Boris Johnson. So,
I got some other nice gifts.
Oh yeah.
I received from my manager and the broad umbrella management. I'm not sure if this is a hint, but I received driving gloves.
That's lovely.
Like really
Lovely.
nice leather driving gloves.
Tan leather?
Yeah, I don't know if it's saying...
Have they got that sort of white string sections? That
No,
used
they
to-
haven't. They haven't got a string
You see, I'll
back.
probably
They're
get
a
the
full
email saying
leather.
we're giving the money to charity this year and then find out everyone else got presents, which is
maybe
what happened at Christmas.
Maybe
Thank you.
No, I got that email at Christmas. I feel...
There was a whole investigation into it.
I
Greg
hope I'm
Davis and
not-
I have discussed it.
I hope
I
I'm not
bought
being
a
indiscreet, but I
donkey.
did
I
get...
bought a donkey for the Gurkhas.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah. Apparently, I got a message from them. They said it fell off the bone.
Anyway,
I don't know if the driving gloves thing is a little hint for them to say, go on tour.
Yeah. Or just go.
Yeah, maybe.
just go.
But very nice. But I've got a problem with them in that I've only worn them in the car, I think twice or maybe 3 times, and then I keep getting out of the car and going home with them on. And so I've
I
inadvertently
see.
turned them into walking gloves.
Can I tell you?
For a period of
I
time.
think you'll find there's a small sort of
I
compartment.
do need somewhere to keep them in the car, like a container. If only there was a box
Yeah.
of some kind.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called now, but I found that's a handy place to put
Yeah.
any sort of hand covering.
But do they become walking gloves if I walk out of the car
Yeah.
in them? Because
Let your fingers do the walking, as Yellow Pages used to say.
Lovely campaign.
Yellow
Lovely
Pages, or was it that
campaign,
barmaid from Wigan? I can't remember.
Oh, heaven's sake.
But they're very nice. They're lovely.
No,
I
that's
just,
it. You have to get a disclaimer now. You've been a bit sniffy about
I
it.
haven't. I love them.
Are they left and right, or just...
Yeah,
With hands, you see, I can see it.
it's fine.
Yeah.
It makes sense, doesn't it?
Although, then again, do you really need it? Would it really matter?
Then
if-
again, no.
Yeah, I don't know if...
Yes, it would really matter because my thumb is at the top of one hand, but
No.
You've got a prominent thumb.
Well, it's...
yeah.
Yeah,
I don't see that in a critical way.
no. Can
Lovely.
you get- what you should have is hitchhiking gloves. But just have the thumb exposed.
Oh, yeah.
They exist.
This is Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
You know, I love a re in an email
Yes.
when we're talking about stuff. So they already had me at this email. Frank's shoe idea. Hi, Frank, the Cockerel and Emily. Slippers aren't foot specific. Maybe Frank would like a kind of outdoor, smarter slipper from Joe.
Can I tell you something, Joe?
Sure.
Please do.
I've got a pair of black slippers which were given to me by well, I did a show do you remember when I got bitten by a spider on my foot and it swelled up?
Yes, I do.
So I had
It's
to do the
frightening.
show in slippers. I've still got those slippers, and it was looking at those slippers the other day that made me think, why do they have a left and right? So they definitely do have a left and right in slippers.
Oh, those ones do.
Those ones definitely do. Maybe your big, your ones that look like Zebedee.
Right.
Those big
Or
ones.
sometimes your spa slippers.
Yeah, you couldn't wear those.
They're not. They don't have an LR aspect to
those
them.
in.
No,
Why do
I've
they
seen
have-
espadrilles that don't have an LR. Yeah.
I also have another.
I love it when we're just people in the
I
bar.
have another appearance question. I was having a conversation with my wife the other day, and
Well, how many of us can say that?
we've been together.
Hey, 12, 15, guys.
We've been together for a long time, my wife and I, since 2001. That's a chunk of time, isn't it?
Congratulations.
And so we're chatting away, and then I suddenly hear a tone of voice that I have not heard before in her voice. I mean, I've heard...
Coming from the wardrobe.
No, she was... when you're at a dinner party or something and you're in a long-term relationship and someone brings up a thing and you go, I haven't heard this story before. 10 years in and you're doing new stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15, 16 years in, she's doing new tones of voice. And she said, this is what she said, she went, your face, I think you might suit a moustache. That's what she said to me. She
Wow.
actually...
How long's that been bubbling under?
I don't know, but she thinks that I should, and now I feel obliged to grow a moustache just to try it out for her. Isn't that a strange thing?
I must say, when
Sees
you
you as some
said
sort
it,
of Magnum PI character.
Yeah.
Well, I did ask if that's what she was after.
I'm
like,
thinking
is it-
Super Mario.
With a dungaree and a red
Oh,
shirt
I love a dungaree, especially on a children's TV presenter.
and a red Baker Boy hat that makes me burst out laughing.
I think I said, "Is it Tom Selleck that you're hoping I'll look like?" And she said, "No, Burt Reynolds." But I don't think either is what's going to happen. I
I'd
think
like
it's going
to see. I mean, I must admit, I don't have high hopes for it as
No.
a facial
No.
adornment
I
for
think
you.
it'll
I
look
don't
awful.
know how much there'd be.
No, I don't think there'll be much
It'll
at
be
all.
wispy.
I
And
think
also-
it'll be wispy. It'll be look like Kim Jong-un has tried to grow a moustache or something like that.
Yeah, Kim Jong-un presumably would...
Not very many now.
He'd go with...
the cheese
the classic Fu Manchu moustache, which is a really long, thin one that hangs...
do one of those.
Like 6 inches. I've never seen one in the flesh, apart from obviously stock on at Fu Manchu parties.
No, I've not seen a flesh one.
I wish there was a thing called Flu Manchu that you could catch, and that was one of the symptoms. Oh man, people would be queuing up, wouldn't they? You know those pox parties that kids have.
Oh yeah,
so they can catch the thing. If there was a Flu Manchu, I'd be there in a flared sleeve in anticipation.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
We heard from Ian Angel / Angle, our regular correspondent,
our Pondmeister General,
who said that he very much enjoyed Emily's article and that he will.
Well, I read the first paragraph and already found something I really liked.
Oh guys, come on, stop! No, don't stop. Carry on.
Well, no, I always stop. A long article.
Frank, please read it. You don't have to.
I don't have to read it in one go, do I?
No, you can make it last. I'm going to go 11 loo visits, I'm going to say.
He's also sent a text message with
the currency of Albania.
11 loo visits.
Yeah,
very good.
That's how much it is to get in a cinema.
Yeah. He sent one of his little puns about, Alun, did you sense a bristle in your wife's voice re the moustache conversation? And I did. And actually, this is one of the things that slightly annoys me, because when I shaved my beard just before Christmas, it was partly because I'd been performing my stand-up comedy and I had felt the moustache part of my beard slightly tickling my nostrils.
I thought it's going to say the microphone.
No.
Oh, it happens, darling.
Does it?
Yeah. Believe me.
You should try threading. Have you ever done that with the old cat's cradle?
No, I think that would hurt.
I do
painful,
threading.
Doesn't it?
Well, it is. Of course it is.
Yeah,
it needs must.
Yeah, but shaving's not, or growing a beard isn't. That's also, it wouldn't save me that much time.
It's when you're on the other end of it.
Yeah.
Okay. I said
Anyway.
I don't know why I said it, but...
No.
I wish I hadn't said it. Can I say, when I went on my romantic weekend, but I didn't mention the fact that we were on the 17th floor.
Yeah.
And I thought, I was so looking forward to just me and Kath being away on our own. And she said she had a key to the stairs, so she could walk up 17 flights, whatever it is, to the top, or maybe be 16 flights.
Mm-hmm.
What, for exercise purposes?
Well, no, just because she's scared of lifts.
Oh, okay.
And that's why we've never done Strictly Come Dancing.
That's the only reason, of course.
Yeah, and then it turned out there's the wrong key, and she couldn't. So,
oh no.
So we're in a romantic holiday situation where I'm on the 17th floor, and she's saying I can't actually come in because I can't go in the lift. And I thought, this is going to be difficult. I ended up having to go, every time she went in or out, I had to go down about 10 floors and open the fire door to let her in. I mean... And it felt untoward as well. It was a bit sneaky opening the fire door, letting someone in, like children at the cinema, you know. Or maybe that judge who overturned Donald Trump's immigration ban. I felt like that. I was letting him in through the back door. Can we mention him? Has he been killed yet?
Who, the judge or Donald?
Have they found him yet? No, the Donald's all right.
He's all right, you think?
He's getting more orange by the day.
Yeah, that's the trouble, isn't it?
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio. Surely not. There must be some mistake.
What else for your birthday? Was it fun all the way?
It was fun.
No, I thought I'd say fun all the way to the Cockerel. He's not a fun all the way kind of a guy.
Well, I'm glad you've said that, because my wife made an apology.
She's been piping up all over the place.
She said, I'm really sorry, your birthday hasn't had any
impact.
Any experiences. She said, I haven't got you any unusual experiences. And I was like, no, birthdays.
I bet your heart started thumping then. Where's this going?
It's my lucky day.
Well, it was a nice birthday. And I said, I don't really want experience. I want I want traditional birthday stuff. I want, gifts and nice food and cake. That's what you need on a birthday. I don't need to go and, swim with dolphins. I'm happy. That's what I said. I'm happy.
Well, that's more you. But I don't like the phrase, I don't want experience.
I hate new ones, do I? Do I?
What, do you think you've had all your experiences
No,
now?
but I just don't need new. It was already a busy day. We had lunch. I did some grappling.
Did you grapple on your birthday?
Yeah, I went out for hot
he
chocolate
had a
and
birthday
cake.
grapple. Who was the grappler? Just a friend of yours?
Just whoever was there on the mats.
Hot chocolate and a fight.
Got to live life on all levels,
I've
haven't
been
you?
an 18th century London ruffian. Thank you so much for listening this morning. It's been lovely, I think. I like working with the snow outside. It makes me feel like some sort of poor backdrop on a weather report. Anyway, have a beautiful week and bring on the feathers.
Hear the Frank Skinner Show as it happens. Saturday morning from 8 until 11 on 105.8 FM in London and the South East.